Good afternoon. I hope can you hear me, guys? Okay. Yeah. So we were discussing with the concept of business intelligence. You know why the business intelligence is very important. Okay. Because nowadays business is not going to work like in olden days. Okay. Where you people need to have some apply some business logic in order to earn more and more. Okay. So we have studied many things with respect to that of business applications and business intelligence. We call that logic what we are going to apply for our business as a business intelligence. Okay, so we have seen BIDM life cycle if you remember. Okay, so many options like very important thing is decision types. Why I'm saying this decision types means again we are going to come across with respect to that of the decision types. There are two types of decision. One is operational and one more is strategic. We should never forget this. This is a very important thing, and we are having a lot of BI tools, and where we are going to apply these BI tools. Okay, business intelligence tools. We are going to apply the business intelligence tools in many of the places. Okay, like retail, telecom, customer relationships, and so on. Yeah, coming, we studied about retail, how we are going to maintain a grocery using BI. We are going to study about even telecom industry, where we are going to apply the BI, how it is going to work. And just a minute. Okay, so CRM, we come across with CRM, customer relationship management, and financial services, manufacturing sector, healthcare especially, and even education, banking. Today we are going to see about public sector. Okay, where actually we are going to get more amount of data. Okay, government. Actually, government is going to have more amount of the data when we compare to private institutions or private companies, firms, what I can say. For example, the best example is Aadhaar. All the population of Indian population, about 90% of data is available near the government, and that too by means of a Aadhaar. You know that. Okay, so government usually gathers a large amount of data. Okay, large amount of the data, and why that data is needed to do some kind of analysis. Okay, and even now, see whatever the data the government has acquired today is helping a lot in our health sector. Basically, you can see the corona disease. Okay, which person, where, how, everything they can get from the Aadhaar. Okay, and this is how the public sector data is going to be helpful. And here we are having some couple of applications to show how the public sector is going to help. Okay, so the applications like law enforcement, the first and foremost application is law enforcement. Okay, so it's a lot more patterns we get from law enforcement. Okay, if I take if they are giving an example of LAPD. What is LAPD? Okay, Los Angeles Police Department. They have they have done the survey for 80 years with a 13 million crimes, and finally they come across to a one kind of a pattern model which is going to help them to analyze what kind of the crime is going to happen in what kind of area. Okay, this data helped them, the data for 80 years, you can see. But nowadays I can say the trend is going to say that for every 18 months the data is getting double. This is a very important information you should keep in your mind. Okay, past 80 years the data generation was quite low, but today the data generation is very high. Okay, so every 18 months the data is going to get double what the data you are having. Okay, you people can also see initially you are very happy with the 2 GB, but today you are not happy with the 2 GB of data. You need a 4 GB of data per day approximately. Okay, so what they did is they studied for 80 years and they come across 13 million crimes, and finally they make a pattern model where they can identify what kind of the crime can happen in what kind of an area. And you believe me, the results of LAPD was very astonishing. They come across 27%. They reduced the crime rate by 27%. Means what they did is, in what kind of area, what kind of crime happens, they did patrolling more amount of police, what I can say, routine work there. By this, they improved and reduced the crime by 27%. This is how a data helps you. Okay, so when we go for scientific research, even a large collection of research data is going to help you, like protein folding, that is come across microbiology, some nuclear reaction data for subatomic physics, some disease control for public health, and so on. Everywhere data is going to apply. But you believe me, any country you go, the maximum amount of data is going to be available near the government. Okay, because they are having the rights to access any of the cloud. That is not going to have rights to access to any other things. Okay, so moving next, yeah, that's a very important thing. We are going to study data warehousing. It's a very important thing. I'm saying, what is data warehousing? So before starting with the definitions, what is data warehouse, how it is going to help, before going to this, let me tell you where the concept of data warehouse comes. Okay, you believe me. Okay, if you people can take the example of Big Bazaar only, right? So now what happens, if Big Bazaar is allocated in many places in the, take the example of Karnataka. Okay, in Karnataka only you can find the Big Bazaars many places. Now what happens, this owner of the Big Bazaar need the information that, uh, what is the profit after a 1 month. He is going to call the manager and he is going to say, kindly get me the profits of all the, for example, 8 Big Bazaars there in Karnataka. You believe me, just example, it's not a reality, just example. Now what the manager should do, go he should call every Big Bazaar places like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, all 8 one by one Big Bazaars he should call. He should collect the data, then he should go to the owner of the Big Bazaar or DMart, and then he should say, sir, this is the sales profit we got this month. Then again he asked, what is the rate of inventory available? Again, what in manager need to do, again he should individually call every Big Bazaar company, every Big Bazaar branches. Then he should collect the inventory present, and again he should update that to a owner, which is a headache process, which is a hectic process. So there comes the concept of data warehouse. Okay, so what the data warehouse will do, see, whatever the data generates from all these Big Bazaars are going to be uploaded to a one centralized place, that is nothing but called as data warehouse. Now if the owner asks the manager for the any particular data, then the manager need to call all the sub branches to get the data. He directly can he directly can move to the data warehouse and get the data. That is the benefit of a data warehouse. Did you understand the concept of data warehouse? Okay, that is where the data warehouse concept comes, which is going to help a lot. Okay, so now what happens, let me see the definition of the data warehouse. Did you understand the concept of data warehouse? This is how the concept of data warehouse comes. Okay, best example is Big Bazaar, DMart, and these are the way any, and even your car showroom companies, for example, Maruti car showroom. You know how many branches of Maruti car showroom there? Just take the example of Karnataka. And the owner of the Maruti cars need a information of sales. Then he cannot send a letter or a message or a call to every Maruti company to get the details, Maruti showrooms. But everybody upload the data to a particular center called as data warehouse, where they can get all the data. Okay, so data warehouse is organized collection of integrated subject oriented database design. See, this is what the definition of data warehouse is. Data warehouse is a organized collection of integrated subject-oriented database design to support the, what I can say, manufacturing company, or to support the management. What is the meaning of subject-oriented? So let me see, for the example of a subject-oriented. Okay, so if this is a data warehouse, okay, so I can get all the information here concerned with the subject for any particular company. Okay, for any particular company, for example, okay, for example, uh, what I can say, for example, if mine is a sales company. Okay, So I need to get the sales, right? So what is the meaning of subject oriented? The meaning of subject oriented is clear. Okay, so if this is my data warehouse, just I'm explaining through diagram. Okay, this is a data warehouse, and don't take this seriously, just I'm explaining you what is the meaning of subject oriented. Means people can see this is a data warehouse, I should get the details of the sales. Means I should have all the details concerned with sales. Means from where the sales started, from where it is named, what kind of the sale, how much profit, what is the net amount you have invested. Okay, what is the amount profit you got from the sales. All the data is present in one particular place, that is nothing but called as data warehouse, and that is called as subject oriented. Now the subject is sales, all the sales data is present here. What is the profit? Now when I go for marketing, all the marketing data should be present. When I go for HR, human resource, all the human resource data should be present. That is where we are going to call it as subject oriented. Okay, so all the data is dumped in one particular place. Why I am explaining this concept little abstract means this is very much needed. This two concept what we are discussing today, data warehouse and data mining, both are very much needed. Okay, being a computer science student, you should know what actually it is. Okay, so now what happens? Yeah, integrated means I am getting all the data in one particular place. Then I can say yes, it is integrated, right? So I can say, yeah, well, I can say very clearly, data warehouse is a organized collection of integrated, subject-oriented, okay, and even I can say time being. Okay, time being. What is the meaning of time being? Anytime you are going to put your hand inside a data warehouse, you should get a data. Okay, and even it should be non-volatile. So we can call the properties of data warehouse as, okay, we can call the properties of data warehouse as, if people can see for better understanding, if people can make small form like tins. Okay, tins, time effective, okay, and subject oriented, non-volatile, integrated. So this is a short form you remember for the properties of a data warehouse, so that you can easily remember the definition. So data warehouse is an organized collection of integrated, timely, okay, non-volatile, subject-oriented data that supports what? That supports management decisions. This is the best definition I can give for data warehouse. I stressed a lot to understand the data warehouse. You should never forget TINS. Okay, timely manner, integrated. What is the N stands for? Non-volatile. What is the S stands for? What is the meaning of S stands for? Subject oriented. So you understand what is the meaning of integrated, non-volatile. What is the meaning of non-volatile? Anybody can tell me non-volatile? Means whatever the operation happens inside the data should be recorded. Should not go missing. Even somebody updates some data, it should be there. Even somebody try to delete the data, even the delete data may be in primary, but in secondary it should be there what they have deleted. So then we are going to call it as non-volatile. Okay, so this is how the data warehouse helps. Okay, data offers many business and technical benefits. Means for example, it's going to help for data mining activities. What is the data mining we are going to study in the upcoming classes. Okay, even it can help to present competitive advantages by helping them to make the decisions. Means another company's data you study, then you can easily understand what the company gone through, and you can prepare some kind of a pattern which is more good than that of a company. Then you can give the competition to that company. Okay, and even it can enables a consolidated view of corporate data. Okay, and it is very helpful for timely information. Okay, for example, if there is no Google data center, what would I do for your seminars especially? Now you need to prepare for a seminar, right? So if the Google was not there, what you'd have to do? Where you'd have go? You should go to the library, search for the textbooks, and there also you cannot assure that all the data gets. Since there is a data warehouse, you are getting all the information timely. Okay, this is how the data warehouse works. Okay, and this is what I told you about TINS: time variant, non-volatile, subject-oriented, integrated, and with this even summarized, not normalized metadata. They are all the application and benefits. of the data warehouse. Okay, the main objective of data warehouse is to provide business knowledge, and that business knowledge helps support decision making. For example, guys, IPL started in the India. Uh, do you believe me? Is there was any past old data? No. Whatever the data the cricket was having, they took the data. Okay, they started the IPL for the first year. Do you believe me? What happened into the second year? There was huge amount of data, which are the players from where, how they played in the last matches. Okay, what is the amount of bid they went for last time? This is how the objective of the data where is to provide the business knowledge, and in turn it supports the decision making. Then there's this cricket IPL heads. They are going to decide, yes, we need to buy this customer, buy this player, because last time he has played very well. These are the things goes. Okay, that is where the subject oriented comes. Now, IPL data warehouse is going to have all the data about the IPL, that is subject oriented, and all the data at one place integrated. And we can get all the data within fraction of seconds, time variant. No data is missed, non-volatile. All the data is consolidated, summarized. Even we can get the metadata. And all these are the benefits of data warehouse. Okay, data warehouse is having large amount of benefits. What happened is in the year 1970, India got a lot of business opportunities. Okay, at that time, there was no data. Then they started to build the data. You people believe me, the Colgate company. You go and ask them the history. They can say from where the company started up to now they are having a data in one particular place that is nothing but their data warehouse. That helps them to build the business. That helps them to take their decisions. Now, sweater making company, they are in contact with weather stations. There somebody says this time the cold will be more. They increase the production, and weather companies where the data will come by reading the past data. Okay, these are the things goes. Then come to the very important concept. Okay, data warehouse architecture. Data warehouse has four key elements. Okay, one is data source operations. When I say operations, it consists of ERP. We are going to study everything in detail. Okay, let me come back. We are having DTL. Okay, here we are having only DT. Actually, it is called as DTL. What's the meaning of DTL? Data transformation load. This is very important for any data warehouse architecture. This plays the important role. Okay, then comes data mart, or we are going to call it as warehouse, and at the end of this we are going to have the customer support client accessing user and applications. The client is going to use either by means of devices, apps, or by means of you people can see the share data also. Lot of share market apps are there. Again, from the centralized data warehouse, they will take the data. Okay, that is the source of the data. They transform the data. They are going to divide the data based on the marts. For example, if you want to know the UK market, the data server is going to connect to UK. If you want to know the Indian market, the data warehouse, that is where the data marts comes. And finally, you are the customer. This is how the data warehouse works. Okay, so the first element is data source, means where you get the raw data. Okay, data warehouse is a place where you get the raw data. The second is nothing but I told you DTL. You should never forget the DTL. There is nothing but data transformation load, where you are going to transform a data for business needs. I think you people attended the guest lecture session by Rohit sir. He is doing the DTL work only. Means somewhere the data is in data center. You know what is the meaning of data center? He explained very clearly. Any particular system is going to act like a data center. Then you are going to transform the data to the cloud. This is where you are going to have a raw data in the data center, and now you are going to transform the data to the cloud by means of DTL, data transformation load. Okay, which meet the decision needs. And third is nothing but accurate loading of the data into data marts. Okay, every particular thing you people call it as a data marts. And the fourth one is nothing but you are going to access the data whichever you require. That is what the companies do. So people know, you people are having SBI online desktop version also, and even mobile version also. Now the web page should be optimized from desktop version to the mobile version. Again, you are transforming the data there. Okay, these are the things goes with the data. So let us, the first thing is you people know data. source. Means from where the data is going to get, that is called as a data source. For example, cricket players play the cricket IPL. From there we get the data. Okay, his history people take Sachin Tendulkar, whichever the match he played, how many runs he hit, on what ball he got out. Okay, what is the bowler who is bowling, which is the match. Every data is going to be present. That is how the data is very very strong. Okay, Facebook, Amazon. You believe me, Amazon? Okay, Amazon is going to have approximately more than 4 crore projects. Sorry, 4 crore products. 4 crore, more than 4 crore products. How they are maintaining the data warehouse? It's very hard. Okay, so when I come for data warehouse is created from structured data source. Yes, the data should be structured because you cannot store unstructured data, because the client is always going to ask the structured data. If I Google something, what is, for example, client, then you say go and search by yourself. Unstructured data, it is meaningless. Okay, it should say something when I'm asking about the client. Structured data source. Okay, so means everything should be properly ordered. That is called as structured data source. The first and foremost is ERP. Okay, ERP is going to, what is the meaning of ERP? Enterprise Resource Planning. It's going to act like a backbone for any organization IT systems. Okay, we should plan for the resources. For example, if I take the sales marketing, okay, data is going to have all the information with respect to that of the sales, whether it may be a customer order, or it may be a customer service and so on, right? For example, if I buy a mobile in Amazon, they are going to have all the information about me. When I book, what is the name of the customer? When I book, what is the date of delivery? Everything they are going to maintain. Okay, so then comes POS. There is nothing but point of sale. It's a terminal, and basically point of sales is going to be used in e-commerce application. Okay, means when the customer was buying something, what is the status, and later how he is improvised. Means he what is the every 2 months it was having a service, that product, or 3 months. Okay, and e-commerce basically get the data from supplier chain management. Okay, means that is where they can plan. Now, you people can see Amazon. Amazon is not properly working from past 2 months after Corona. Okay, now they cannot. The rate of working of Amazon in the before past 2 months is totally different from the rate of working of Amazon from past 2 months. Are you understanding? So that is where they should keep track, and especially external syndicate data. Means now people can see Amazon. Somebody has booked the Amazon before product in the Amazon before Corona. Then comes economical factor, or weather factor, or environmental factor, where you cannot deliver the product. So who are all the booked the product, still they have not received. Okay, that is called as external syndicate. Okay, sometimes some area, for example Maharashtra, suddenly running very high. At that time the data centers, or I can say packing centers of Amazon is not working, and you can expect the delivery late. That is called as syndicate data, means which are the external data. Okay, so this is how the data source is going to work. And then comes DTL. I was telling DTL, it is nothing but always it is like a heart of the data warehouse process. DTL, because it is the one which is going to do the good quality data. It is the one which is going to provide good quality of the data. What is the meaning of good quality of data? Data is coming from different sources. For example, weather data you take, the data is coming from all the districts in Tumkur to a Tumkur centralized place. Then you should extract the data, okay, on regular basis. You should clean the data. What is the meaning of cleaning of the data? For example, if you take ragi only, okay, the ragi, how it is going to be grown, and finally they should be cleaned. All unwanted things should be removed. Then a clean version of food is available. In the same fashion, you may get the data, but it will be not clean. Okay, you should extract the data. Okay, and you should clean. for any irregularities in the data. What is the meaning of irregularities? Irregularities here is nothing but missing values. Okay, and then you should keep track about all the missing values, and you should fill that values. That is where the concept of cleaning of the data comes. Okay, so then you should transform the data, show that they can use. That is what upload the data into data warehouse. Once the data warehouse you are going to apply the data, you people believe me, the architecture of data warehouse, okay, here it will be in star schema. Okay, what's the meaning of star schema? You people can see this is star schema architecture, where actually the table is going to be present in the center, and rest of the lookup tables, they are all called as the lookup tables, which is going to be present in and around. Okay, basically the centralized table is going to hold all the information, and lookup tables is going to hold whatever the needed information. So the architecture, people can see it look like star. Okay, star architecture. So this is how the architecture of the data warehouse will be. Okay, and we are having not only the star architecture, again we are having snowfall architecture, snowflake, I can say. What's the difference between star and snowflake is nothing but you can have your own lookup tables in case of snowflake, but basically in star you cannot. It has been created by the system, only that you should use. Okay, these are the architecture of I can say star architecture, basically that is used in your data warehouse. Okay, so then comes data warehouse access, which is the last part. People can see we studied what is data source, the raw data coming from ERP legacy system, point of sale, RFID. That is very important, I forget to tell. RFID is nothing but machine generated information. Okay, now you people go for toll. Okay, any toll you get, it has been scanned and develop that information, and directly it will send to the server. Okay, that is where the needy person, the owner of the toll or anybody can see, who are also having authorities. That is where I can say RFID system. Okay, the data which is scanned from your car is directly go to this. All the things happens. The scanned data is transformed, then it is stored in somewhere in the warehouse. From there, it is going to be accessed by the concentration. Okay, these are the things works. Okay, we are in the last state, access. Okay, data warehouse access. Okay, so the primary use of data warehouse is to reduce routine management and monitoring for the reports. For example, if I want a sales performance report, there will be a lot of information in the sale performance. How, when it is got sale, how many number of quantity, what was the rate, is there any changes in the rate, everything we can get. The primary use is nothing but by using this data warehouse, we can access the data, and we can, by using the accessing of the data, the decision making is going to become very easy. Okay, for example, you believe me, if you want to travel to Kerala, the first time you doesn't know Kerala, the first and foremost thing is you are going to put the map, and where the map information is there, it is there in data warehouse of Google. And by learning this, decision becomes very easy. Oh, I have to go like this, from here and here I can move like this. That is how the things goes. Okay, and even we can use the data warehouse information for ad hoc queries. Means ad hoc is nothing but network issues. Okay, and even the data from data warehouse used to provide for data mining, which is next I need to discuss. Okay, so data mining, which is going to be discussed in the next slide. So this is very important basic things the data warehouse explains. Okay, keep it in your mind, data warehouse is having two kind of information. One is operational and one more is strategic. Every data warehouse consists of these two kinds of the information. Okay, so if I write like this, okay, this is operational data, I can say, and I can say this is strategic data. Now, whatever the data, day-to-day activity you do is nothing but operational data, daily routine data. But keep it in your mind, every data warehouse consists of strategic data. What is the meaning of strategic data? Means what is the amount of sales? What is the amount of profit? It's daily routine activity. Means okay, today open the market, I need to do the business. That's it. The day-to-day activity. But actually, data warehouse data is strategic data. Okay, means here what happens if I update something, it is going to do update automatically. But here, why we are updating? What is the need of update? When we update, all information is maintained. That is nothing but called as strategic data. Okay, to keep it in your mind, data warehouse always data warehouse always hold strategic data, not operational data. Okay, are you guys understanding? So the data warehouse information is strategic, which will help me to do the decisions. So again, just before moving to data mining, you should never forget TINS, guys. TINS. Okay. So what is data warehouse? Very very important question. In question paper, 90% of chances of arriving this question. What is data warehouse? Data warehouse is organized collection of this all information which helps to decision making. What is this all information? T stands for time variant, I stands for integrated, N stands for non volatile, S stands for subject oriented. So data warehouse is an organized collection of things which will help the management to make the decision. This is a very simple way I can make you to understand the definition of a data warehouse, right? So coming back, okay, data warehouse, data mining. Guys, this is very very important concept again. Now you are having data, lot of data in data warehouse, but still there may be some part of irrelevant data. Okay, now what I need to do? I told you, when I Google, I get all the data. Okay, all. Suppose I type client as a keyword, I may get lot of data based on the client, but I should require the data based on my knowledge. What kind of client I am finding out. That is nothing but called as knowledge. So what is data mining? Data mining is the art, even it's an art, to choose which data I want. Since there is large amount of data, now for in front of you only, whenever I type in Amazon mobile, for example, cell phone, how much I will get? Now it is just not a science. Basically, what is the meaning of science? Whenever I type mobile in the Amazon, out of 4 crore, more than 4 crore products, it will search me all the products that is linked to the mobile, right? Even I may get mobile back panel also, even I may get mobile screen guard also. But actually what I'm doing, I'm searching for mobile. That is an art. And what I'm searching mobile is a knowledge. Are you understanding? This is the best simple example I can give for you guys. Okay, so whenever in the Amazon I type mobile, okay, since it is having more than 4 crore projects, it will fetch all the content limited to mobile, and it is going to display in front of you. Now it is left to you how to choose it. Okay, so what you can do is, you have applied a sense. There is nothing but searching for mobile. Now you should apply some art based on your knowledge, what to select. So that is what called as data mining. You are going to filter the data based on your knowledge. And so we can say data mining is the art and science of discovering knowledge. Okay, which will help you to find out some patterns in data. Now what I will do, what is the knowledge? I want the cell phone in the range of 10,000. That is the knowledge. Now I click filter 10,000. Then suddenly what happens? All the mobile in the Amazon which are having the range of 10,000 is going to be displayed. That is what we are calling as a data mining. One more example I can give. Why I am giving more examples for data warehouse and data mining? Because they are very very important. Okay, so I can say instead of data mining, I can also say that gold mining. People have heard about gold mining. What they are going to do, they are going to identify a particular place where the gold is there. Then they keep on digging. They are not going to take the mud or stones or rocks. Actually, their target is gold. That is their knowledge. So, data mining is the art and science of discovering knowledge, which will help you to find the patterns. And even the pattern should be valid. I am finding out gold. I should try to find the gold, not the stone. That is valid. Okay. And the very implicit assumption is that data about the past can reveal patterns of activity. Means gold mining. Even you go, there is a model for gold mining, right? How to mine a gold. You can check out in your Google. That is made a standard now pattern. Somebody has did this and make it as a standard. Okay, where you people can just use that standard based on the data. And don't worry, that without data warehouse, you cannot have a data mining. Are you understanding what I'm saying? This is very, very important. Without data warehouse, you cannot have data mining because in data warehouse, you will get lot of data. From there, you are going to take the relevant data that is nothing but mining. So even the data mining is a multidisciplinary field. Okay, where you
Wow,
borrow
data
techniques from
quickly.
where you are going to borrow the techniques from variety of fields and it utilizes the knowledge. Okay, knowledge is nothing but what you are searching for. Okay, knowledge is nothing but what you are searching for. And then it draws all the analytical techniques from statics. That is nothing but computer intelligence. Okay, so how the data mining works. For example, now how they are going to work data mining in the business applications. Means customer who buy cheese and milk, then 90% they may also buy bread. So then, being a grocery shop, I should keep with this cheese and milk. I should keep the bread also. This is how the data mining helps knowledge. Okay. Similarly, I can take even the health issues. A person who is having high blood pressure, which is more than 65, then obviously we should also keep the heart-oriented medicines because there will be a risk of getting heart strokes. This is how, by using this data from data warehouse and data mining, the decision becomes very simple. That is what the IPL bidding is also going to be done. They do a thorough study of every player. Then they keep the targets, data mining, filter the players and keep the targets. I should buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. That is where the concept of data warehouse and data mining. Okay, so now comes the gathering and selecting the data. Means you people know gathering is nothing but data warehouse, selecting is nothing but data mining. They both are very much important for any of the industry people go. Okay, people go for Coca-Cola industry, which is the first soft drink they have developed. Okay, which is having very big history. They are now you people go and ask in so and so year what was the amount of uh, Coca-Cola bottle sold in the all over the world. They are ready to give you the data. Or only in Karnataka, they are going to ready to give the data. Or only in Bangalore, they are going to ready to give the data. How it is possible? By using gathering and selecting the data. Okay, so the total amount of data in the world is getting doubled every 18 months. Yes, I told you already that one. Okay, obviously now there is ever growing situation of the data because even you go for smallest shop in Tumkur only, they are going to collect your data before billing. So can you believe me? Every day people visit twice, thrice, fours. Every time you visit, they are collecting the data. Then what happens? Just a simple example of Tumkur. Data coming with very high velocity. Yes, with huge volume. Yes, and even the variety of the data. Now it is left to the business people. One has to quickly use it or lose it. So what happened? Suddenly the corona situation started. Any medical store or any health oriented places you go, the demand with respect to mask and sanitizers become very high. The volume of data is less. Nobody was knowing this is needed very much. If anybody would have known, they could have stored and later they could have sold. Even you, maybe you or me. But nobody did the thorough study, data warehouse study. If they could have done the study of the China, what they are using for the corona, then somebody could have stored today all your masks and sanitizers, and you could be a profitable person. Okay, so gathering and selecting. helps you to grow the business. Okay, to learn from data, one needs to effectively gather quality data. That is where the thing comes, quality, clean data without missing values. That is nothing but called as clean data, and it should be efficiently processed. So if I'm asking Google something, if it is not giving me irrelevant data, then what do people will do? People will stop using Google, right? And if there is competitor of the Google who is giving the relevant data, everybody will switch. Yes, even that is also there. Whatever the Google you are using, it's free version. Some company has paid the Google. Why they have paid the Google? Because when they use their login IDs and try to search something, they should require relevant data. So the company is going to pay the Google every year this much amount to get only the relevant, very, very relevant data, because they don't have time to search the data and work, because time is money for. Are you guys understanding? So that is where the quality data comes. Okay, and even one requires the skills and technologies to consolidate such kind of the data, which is coming from many sources. Okay, everybody will doesn't accept what every news channel will say. Can you believe me? Nowadays, a lot of conflicts over the news channels. Yes or no? So now everybody will not believe whatever the news is going to be presented by the news channels. Which is the most relevant one? That is only you are going to believe. Similarly, there is lot of data, but only you should believe quality data. And somehow hook or crook, Google is trying to provide such quality data. Okay, and yeah, continuation. uh, Data is coming from all unstructured data should be, you cannot neglect that data. What you need to do is you should take such unstructured data, okay, and you should convert them into a structured data. Okay, so that is how the things goes. Now, for example, I always tell you, if Rohit Sharma tweets something with respect to Indian situation, many of them tweet, okay, like suddenly 2 million tweets happens in Twitter. No, it's an unstructured data. The data in the terms of text is basically an unstructured data. Now what they do, they apply some logic of sentimental analysis. Then they are going to make the data structured. 90% of the people believe what Virat Kohli has told is correct, and 10% of them believe whatever he is telling is not correct. This is how they are going to differentiate between structured and unstructured data. Now you got a clear picture. What is the meaning of structured and unstructured data? The data which is in the terms of text is purely an unstructured data. Now what they have done, they have converted, they applied some sentimental analysis algorithms, they collected all the good words, bad words, and finally they came to a conclusion that yes, 90% of the people agree what Virat Kohli is saying. Then that is how you are going to convert. With this how we are going to gather and select structured and unstructured data. And I already told you, in daily life, many of the information is coming from RFID tags and IoT. Okay, that data should also be maintained very properly. And basically, the knowledge of business domain helps select the right scheme of the data. If you are having a knowledge in particular business, then obviously you are going to select the right data. Okay, for example, now skin moisture companies, they are going to make two kinds of the product. One is for summer, one is for winter. Right? How they prepared initially when they came into the business, are they were doing the same? No, only one kind of moisture. Okay, only one kind of moisture. Sure. Okay, there is only one kind of moisture. But suddenly, what happened? When they are more involved into the business, yes, they have made come to a decision. Yes, for summer we should make this kind of a moisture. For winter we should make this kind of a moisture. And this data from the moisture company help them to do so. So that is where the gathering and selecting of the data comes. Okay, so then data cleansing and preparation. Okay, I was telling you, yes, the quality of the data is critical to the success and the value of data mining project. Getting a quality data is a very big issue because Other situation is like GIGO, garbage in and garbage out. If you are having lot of data which is of no use, then people can say garbage in and garbage out. No use, totally zero. Okay, if you are getting a 2 GB of the data, in that only your 1.5 GB of the data is waste, and only zero point 0.5 GB of the data is useful. Then people can say it's totally a matter of garbage in and garbage out. Okay, if you are getting 2 GB of data, all the 2 GB of the data in that one 90% of the data should be useful. Okay, so the quality of incoming data varies by source and nature of the data, because data from social media and other public sources is also helps you to go for business growth. Okay, and there are many ways in which you can clean the data. Okay, like which are the different ways you can clean the data. First one is filling missing values. Anything missing with the data you should fill it. Okay, and regaining in the effect of outliers, transforming fields and many more. Okay, and people can see 60 to 70% of the time needed for data mining only, because you need to build the data before bringing in front of the customer. Now people is also doing technical seminar. Are you going to just dump the data whichever there in the paper? No, you are going to do data mining. What's the meaning of data mining? You are going to select the appropriate data which should be presented in front of a guide. Okay, that is where the data mining comes. Okay, so then data cleansing and preparation. First and foremost thing, in your data, duplicate data should be removed. Okay, and second thing is you should fill the missing values, because incomplete data is of no use. The data should be complete. Anything in the data is missing, you should fill it. Okay, and even you should be ready to transfer the data from one unit to another. Okay, and continuous values may be needed. uh, for example, work experience of any particular person, it should be continuously updated. If it's a HR data, people can see if I'm have experience of 7 years in 2019, then I should in 2020 it should be it should be increased from 7 years to 8 years. That is where continuous evaluations. Okay, so this is how the data cleansing and preparation comes. Yeah. Okay, and you should what I can say, uh, any biased data means two data with the same meaning, it should be clearly differentiated. Okay, and even the data may need to be selected to increase information density. For example, what I can say, some data is recorded for any of the reasons. Okay, you should increase the granularity of such data. Okay, density. Then comes outputs of data mining. So what you can get from the data mining. Okay, the very important thing is we have done the data mining. Now what is the output of a data mining? Okay, it serves different objectives, and one popular is nothing but from data mining we can get a decision tree. Guys, this is very important. Keep it in your mind. Decision tree is very important, which will simplify the data and produce in front of the user by means of a tree. Okay, a simple tree means now for example, you people need to buy something. Okay, for example, you people need to buy a site, a property. Then you should have a very good data warehouse and data mining. Why? Because uh, people can see Vamsha Rukshanta Bharat. Do you believe me? What they are doing, they are putting the data in hierarchy. Alva. People can say, oh, he is his grandfather. From grandfather, there were three, four children. Okay, in this three, four children, this child got this kind of a property. This child got this property. Now, from this child, you are buying the property. Then what happens? Understanding becomes very easy. Okay, so what happens? Similarly, there is huge amount of data, and the output of the data mining is nothing but just a decision tree. Okay, which is going to be mapped for business rules. Okay, and even you can do the prediction very easily, and that is how the things becomes very simple. Okay, and even the output may be of some of the regression equation, a mathematical equations. So you can see in the next slide how the mathematical equation works. Okay, so now what happens, evaluating data mining results is nothing but you can evaluate the data mining result. What is the efficiency of the data mining result? So while evaluating, you people have already studied in ML in the seventh semester. There are two kinds of learning. One is supervised learning and one more is unsupervised learning. Yes, guys. So when I say supervised learning, by using a decision tree or a decision model, you can what you can do is you can create using a past data, and by using that model which is created using the past data can be predicted the future, and at that time evaluation is very high, right guys? You're having a lot of past data, means in summer this much temperature is at the start body, right? So a lot of past data. Then what happened, what you can do by using that past data, your future can be very bright. So that is where learning by using past data is nothing but called as supervised learning, and you can make a decision very easily when you are going to learn the past data. So people will say always, correct from your past mistakes, don't make it in the future, right? Now whenever you are having, what is the meaning of supervised learning? Supervised learning is a decision model that can be created using past data. Okay, and then by using that past data, whatever you have created, you can make your future data instance. Obviously, whenever you listen to the elders will always tell you good only. Why? Because they are having a lot of past experience which make them to tell you what happens in the future, and that is nothing but called as supervised learning. Did you understand? We can evaluate the data in terms of two things. One is supervised learning and one more is unsupervised learning. What is the meaning of supervised learning? A decision model that can be created using past data, and a model that can be used to predict the correct answer of future data instance. That is nothing but called as supervised learning. Okay. So, are you guys listening? That was I was telling you about supervised learning. Okay, come back. Yeah, supervised learning. Some common metrics for such kind of a classification techniques, like if I want to predict accuracy, then I should have a correct prediction divided by total prediction. Means how many times I have predicted. Okay, correct prediction, that and total amount of prediction. If obviously the correct prediction is high, out of total prediction, then obviously predictive accuracy will be more. Like people know, then I can say just an example, 10 out of 10. Okay, my correct predictions was 10 out of total prediction 10, then obviously accuracy will be high. Are you guys understanding? Or else I can say, if my correct predictions are 5 out of total prediction, then you can say what is the predictive accuracy? 50%, right? This is how the predictive accuracy is going to work. Okay, so supervised learning is very very important. It's a decision model that can be created using past data, and the model that can be used to predict the correct answer of the future data. Okay, now if people can say yes, my prediction is 50% accurate. Why? Because last time when I predicted 5 times it worked out of 10, then accuracy is 50%. Things goes. Okay, and even we are having evaluating data mining results. Okay, I think we will continue this in the next class. Okay, so guys, people can start using the. Okay. Yeah, I was telling the same thing. Guys, people can start using the Moodle. I have uploaded all the content into the Moodle. Okay, all the content, like your question bank, your assignments, then textbooks, ppts. Okay, so I would like to tell one more thing is I'm going to upload mcqs, right? So kindly I'd see your topic and start to prepare 15 mcq questions. 15 1 5, can you hear me? And 15 mcq questions, keep both soft copy and hard copy, which you can paste into your assignments. Okay, this is one more task I'm going to upload within today or tomorrow, and I'm going to let you into the group. Okay, so this is what the thing left. Is there anything apart from this? You have any doubts in today's class? We'll continue this and finish the chapter if possible tomorrow. Okay, and then we are going to start with the fourth module where basically we deals with the regression techniques. Okay, so do you need anything more? Kindly let me know. Notes is also there. I'm going to upload. It's not a problem. Okay, what I will tell you is since I'm having both the soft copy of the textbooks, kindly start to use the textbook. Okay, notes you keep for reference, but kindly read the textbook because you don't know what kind of the questions may arrive in the exams. Okay, so with me, the next session is going to be taken by GSS sir. Okay, be online. I will also be online until he join. Okay, don't unmute and start talking.